We've left camp really early this morning. We didn't even have coffee because we could hear lions nearby, really close, and it sounded like they caught something. So we're just going to search around for them, but the grass here is really long. We found them! We're lucky we found them this morning. It was a long distance visual, but they're definitely on a kill. That's what White could hear last night. They are moving off now, so I think it's safe to say it's time for coffee. Nature's very own ecosystem engineers. All of these dung beetles here are working very hard to break down the elephant dung so that all the nutrients can eventually go back into the soil. They're completely underrated, but so important in the environment here. It's actually not just dung beetles. We do have flies, bees, butterflies. Everything is happening here. This dung is moist and very smelly, which means it's relatively fresh. And when you're driving, you've got to be really careful that you don't drive over dung piles. I think the theme of the day is insects. We've just found this little guy on our windscreen. Master of disguise. Look at how beautiful he is, spending his entire life pretending to be a stick. We've decided to move this little guy. We're obviously going to start driving, and being on the windscreen must be no fun, so we're going to put him back on the vegetation. We're just taking a quick break to stretch our legs before we make it to grasslands. And you know, this entire trip we have only seen one other vehicle with tourists. You can stay at any safari lodge and all the different game parks throughout South Africa, but here, having your own 4x4 safari, whether it's self-drive or whether it's guided, and just driving into the park is honestly the wildest thing I've ever done. We have arrived at our campsite, not too far away from the lodge itself, and I can definitely say it's the most luxurious campsite so far. It even has some facilities. Let me show you. Over here we have the fire pit. We've already set our chairs up in preparation for tonight. It has a braai area for cooking, which makes life very easy, and it even has a sink. Now let me show you the bathroom facilities. I wonder who this seat is taken by. Let me show you the toilet. It has everything you could possibly need, including a sink, but let me not forget to show you the view. And now for the shower. Being on foot with Africa's second most endangered carnivore, the wild dogs. It was surreal. It was just the absolute highlight of this trip. Spotted some rhino tracks from the vehicle, so we've decided to get off on foot, follow the tracks, see if we can find them. Looks like both the male and female from one of us. We found them. A male, a female, and disguise ourselves behind the thicket here, and Darby's gonna get ready to film. Some of you might be wondering what to bring on a trip like this. So I'm going to give you some helpful tips and tricks on what I brought on this trip. Light. Headlamp for when you're doing bits and bobs, and a main torch for shining around when you're walking to the bathroom. A Leatherman has come in really important for us for many different purposes. I highly recommend bringing one of these. Mosquito repellent. Only use it when you must, but if you are sharing a tent with multiple mosquitoes, this definitely comes in handy. We do have matches in the car already, but it's always helpful to travel with a lighter. It goes without saying, when you're on game drive, you need a good pair of binos. Now, there's no connectivity in an area like this. I like using my phone to take photos and videos, so a power bank to keep your phone charged. It is so hot out here. Please put on SPF, and I like to keep my lips hydrated as well. I do bring my own rehydration salts with me, just in case I've not drunk enough water. It's always important to carry your own bottle, especially a thermo flask that actually keeps the water cool. So we have brought multiple coffee mugs along the way. You get up early, coffee is crucial. Prepare a menu before arriving so that when you go to the shops, you know exactly what you're buying, and then you know what you're preparing each night. Protein powder. I'm vegetarian, so protein powder is really important to me. My Kindle. Lightweight, easy, you don't need a torch to read it instead of bringing lots of books with you. Snacks. Don't laugh, but I love seaweed. As you can see, this packet is almost empty. Baby wipes come in handy for everything, but please dispose of your waste correctly. I'm sure Darby and I forgot a few things along the way. Antibacterial surface spray. I think that would have been really handy out here. You learn as you go, and I really hope these tips were helpful for you guys. We maybe didn't see a leopard on this trip, but these guys are just as good. Cheetah tracks! We haven't been so lucky with cheetahs on this trip, but 2 boys arrived at the waterhole at the lodge last night, so therefore we've come out this morning to try and track them. We've already got the tracks, so I really hope today, which is our last day, we get lucky. After not managing to find the cheetah all day, we come back to the lodge only to hear alarm calls. After investigating, we found fresh tracks. Lo and behold, look what we found. This has been the trip of a lifetime. The ultimate adventure, traveling through the Central Kalahari Game Reserve with Chobe 4x4. An experience I will never forget.